All right, hey everybody, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. TammyTalks here. All right, y'all, we are back for another new reality dating show powered by Kinetic Content. I think that's what they're called. But these are the same creators as Married at First Sight and Love is Blind. So this is Love Without Borders, Season 1, Episode 1. If you're brand new to my channel, I do breakdowns on various TV shows, both scripted and reality, interjecting my own thoughts, opinions, and theories into each and every recap. So, if you enjoy that type of content, please consider hitting that subscribe button, thumbsing up the video if you enjoy tonight's content, and then hop in the comment section so we can talk about everything that happened on this episode, because a lot happened on this episode. All right, so let's get started. So, the premise of the show: we have 5 people from across the United States that feel that they are at their wits' end with trying to find love. So they have enlisted the help of a matchmaker who is going to match them up with somebody from across the world. Someone from across the world. They're going to go over on, a 90-day visa, a 3-month visa to this country overseas, to where they are going to live with this person, presumably for the rest of their lives, if it is a perfect match. This is a disaster waiting to happen. This is such a disaster waiting to happen. It's basically Love is Blind meets 90 Day Fiancé, but let's give it a whirl. So there are 5 couples that we are going to be following throughout the course of their next 90 days together. We are introduced to 4 of the couples on tonight's 2-hour premiere. Thank God that these episodes are only going to be 1 hour, not 2 hours every week, because I don't know if I could take 2 hours of it. But first we meet Gerline. Gerline is 28 years old. She's a tech manager from San Diego. She said that when she thinks about the dating scene in San Diego, it's hookup culture to her. She's having super bad luck. She's out meeting with her friend. They're walking all their dogs together. And she said that the matchmaker is going to match her up with a person from a different country. She has to be packed, ready to go, all affairs in order, because when the matchmaker, whose name is Erica, shows up, you got to be ready to get on the good foot, get on the plane, and go. So her reasoning for this, basically from what I got from it, is she doesn't want to be the single friend. Girl, that is not a good enough reason for you to go do no bullshit like this. That is not. That is absolutely not. If you don't get on one of them dating apps or go out to a bar and find you somebody, I don't like Gerline. I don't like Gerline. I can tell y'all that now. We not vibing together. So the matchmaker shows up to Gerline's house, and Gerline flips out. She's packing, and it turns into I need a moment. It turns into her running up the stairs. The matchmaker is looking like, girl, you got a flight, okay? So she said that it is just a lot for her. I feel like she's having a very adverse reaction, but she said that it's a lot for her because she is looking to be in a tight family unit. So she grew up in a household where her parents divorced when she was younger, but she never heard her parents say I love you to each other or to her either, or her siblings. So she wants to be in that type of family dynamic where you hear that. So we find out that she is going to Dubai. She's excited about that. I said, okay, you may get somebody with a little coin. So she gets over there. She gets to an apartment. When she opens the door, a woman answers. So, now she's feeling away. Come to find out, it is his sister. So we meet, I know I'm going to butcher his name, but Shreyas, I believe is how you pronounce it. His whole family lives there. His entire family lives in that apartment, which is not a problem, part of their culture. But this is also what happens when you decide to uproot your life, your American life, and go overseas, where over there it's very common in different countries across the world for families to all live together like that. They're very intergenerational. It's over here in America that while there are some people that do that, before y'all come in the comments, it's not as typical that you would see. So the father lives there, the mother lives there. They all seem very, 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 very nice. So Sharayas is 30. He is a fashion buyer, and he's also a model. I think he's very handsome. Very, very handsome. So he's kind of showing her around the apartment. And he's like, this is my sister's room, okay? And this is my room. And when he shows her his room, I said, is he sleeping on a cot? Because his sister's bed looked bad. It looked like he was on a cot. I said, Again, these are risks that you take though, right? So she says that initially, she is not attracted to him. She said that she typically dates tall white men. I'm going to tell you this now. For some of these people of color that come on this show, that like to say, or come on a lot of these reality shows that like to point out that, oh, I typically date white people. They're not going to match you with that on here. They're going to put you back with your own because they're seeing that there's something inside of you that you need to work through so that you can get to, a point where you feel that you don't have to come up on here and do this. So I don't know why she thought she would be matched with a tall white guy that she typically dates when that hasn't been working for you. So Gerline does not like that everybody is there together. She says she's used to having her own space. She likes having her own space. She doesn't want to she don't want to date nobody. I mean, she doesn't want to have to share. And when you don't want to have to share stuff like that, why are you on this show? I almost felt like, was Gerline recruited? Did somebody else sign Gerline up? Because she does not seem like she's going through this willingly, to be honest. Maybe it's just me, but she does not seem like a willing participant. So she's a little shook right now. So at breakfast, the next morning, or hell, maybe it is that same day, the father comes by, he's checking on her. The mother comes by, she's checking on her. And it's like, just be nice. And you can see that she's like retreating into herself. You can see it. So she was just saying how the only time she can have some privacy is when she goes to the bathroom. So Charisse comes and tells her, Sharayas comes and tell her that, his mother is making her some, what is she, Pakistani, or is it Punjabi? Ooh, don't let me be politically incorrect. We'll say Indian. Making her some Indian bread, just like how she grew up in that household. She doesn't seem like she wants to, she's not with it. Basically, she's not with it. She talks about how she's a vegan. The mother is saying that, she wants to be a vegan because she wants to lose weight. It's a lot. And she said that she's experiencing sensory overload. Girl, I would too. It's a lot of people coming at you at one time, but you signed up for this. This is what you wanted. You signed up to go and live with a stranger across the world. You signed up for this. She thinks it's weird that his father is able to pull out pictures of him. Why? Why is that weird? But then we also got to remember she comes from a family that wasn't very close and stuff like that. My brother does not live in the same state as me. Hasn't for 7, 8 years at this point. If somebody were to ask my parents to pull up a picture of my brother, they can go quickly in their phone and say, sure, boop, boop. And they can pull up a picture and show a picture. It's like, it's not as weird as she's making it seem. I thought it was more weird that his father was like, do you like men with beards? And she was like, no. Basically telling him, I don't think you're attractive. I'm not feeling you. Off rip. So the two of them go out to lunch together, and she just keeps reiterating, it's so good for us to finally have some alone time. We're finally alone. We get it. We get it. Gerline is going to work my nerves, and I really don't want you to. I really don't want you to. He said that he was shy and chubby as a kid. He was very much introverted. He's only been in one serious relationship that has lasted about 8 months. She comes in with the heavy hitters right away. And she talks about how she has, her upbringing, how she's not really used to being in that type of familial environment. She's been independent. She went to college, said she would never live with her parents. He, on the other hand, is like family is super important to him. We only have so many days and years, with our parents. So he wants to spend as much time as he possibly can with his parents for that reason. She doesn't understand that because that's not the type of loving environment she came from. They are going to butt heads on that. They're going to. Next up, we have Phil. So Phil is the son of, let me get his name, Philip Michael Johnson, who was on Miami Vice. Said his daddy was a Rolling Stone. He is one of 16 children. Okay. He's 35 years old. He's a musician living in Atlanta, Georgia. He said that all the women right now, don't want to see you in the struggle. Right? They want to get somebody established. You're a starving, struggling artist, sir. And no, that's not going to fly in Atlanta when there are bona fide producers and celebrities walking around up and through there. No, that's why. It's nothing about wanting to see you in the struggle, but why would somebody go straight for a struggling artist if that's what they're looking for when they can go and be a groupie to somebody else? That's how women, I'm not going to say women, that's how people think a lot of times nowadays. So he said he's looking for a very nurturing and caring woman that is in love with ice cream. He wants a Dairy Queen. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I took that to mean that he wanted a white woman. I did. I don't know why, but I took that to mean that he wanted a white woman. So when he was excited to go to Ghana later, I was like, oh, okay. Because I just knew he wanted a white woman. Why would you say you want a Dairy Queen? So he wants he wants to be careful with who he has the child with. Because he doesn't want to repeat the same things that his father does because his father was not in his life. His mother died when he was young. His father wasn't around. So basically his older brother became his guardian. So he really just wants to have a very typical family unit. He is telling his brother about this. And I said, so you're concerned about who you have a child with, but you're relying on a matchmaker to match you up with a stranger across the world to be your soulmate. Okay. He also said he's okay with leaving his life behind, but not his dream car, which is a Toyota. No judgment here. I'm not into cars like that at all, but I mean, maybe my dream car was foul too. I don't know, but it's definitely not a Toyota. It's definitely not a Toyota. Hell, I don't drive a Toyota. There's no shade to Toyota whatsoever. I drive a Nissan. So it's not like I'm, out here benzing it up or anything like that. But it's also like, maybe it's a really souped up Camry. I've seen some really nice Camrys. Maybe it's a truck. They probably should have edited that out. So the matchmaker shows up as he's working out. He spills a bunch of his smoothie all over the place. We did not see him clean that smoothie up. Fingers crossed that he did clean that up. So he wants to pack this big ass bottle of Pine Sol and all these Lysol wipes and stuff. Look. One, you can't get on the plane with a Lysol bottle this big. You can't. For one, and that tells me that you don't go nowhere. Because you can't take that on the plane with you. Did you think you were flying private? A lot of questions, but Phil wants to get his hair cut. He wants to cut his locks off because he wants to have a fresh start. I said, are those faux locks in your head? because I know you were not cutting your locks off to go meet a stranger. I don't want to say there's red flags with him, but I feel like there's a couple red flags. He ultimately gets to go to Ghana. When he lands in Ghana, he's trying to talk to the cab driver, not with it. He said this is a silent Uber, okay? That cab driver was not trying to talk to him. So he's taking a whole bath in the back seat with like a towel and some stuff that he had packed because he had been in the car for 2 hours. They said the temperature was 96 degrees. Clearly there was no air because he had the window down. So he was musty. He was given must in that scene. So he is matched with Carmen, who is a 31-year-old entrepreneur that makes like fashion clothes, that makes clothes and makes African print jewelry. So she's half Austrian and half Ghanaian. So the house that they're living in is a house that her father built. She just moved back there 5 years ago. She was living in Austria before that. They have crazy chemistry. They have a lot of chemistry. So once he's inside the house, they're talking about traveling. And he tells her that he's been to a couple countries, but nowhere like super, super far. And I don't know if he mentions Puerto Rico or she did. And he was like, that's a state. It's a what? It's a U.S. territory, babe. It's not a state. Puerto Rico is not a state. It is a U.S. territory. And then he had the audacity, the gall, to say a lot of Americans don't know that. Yeah, we don't know it because the shit ain't true. Puerto Rico is not a state. And the way she looked at him, even she knew that. Carmen was like, okay. So then he has to take a bucket shower. She said that they don't really have hot water all the time or even running water all the time. Sometimes they have to go pump their water. He's saying that by him being such a clean person, it stresses him out. I couldn't do it. I know myself. I could not do it. Kudos to everybody that can do it. Kudos to him for being a good sport, because that probably would have been my cue to be like, I want to go home. I'm sorry. So, but they seem to have good chemistry between the two of them so far. He said that while he's enjoying her company and stuff like that, he doesn't know if he can see himself living there just yet. You have been there all of 12 hours. Relax a little bit. So then we meet Dana. Is it Dana? Dana. We meet Dana, who's 38 and lives in a van. And when I tell you, I was checked out after then. But she says she's a singer-songwriter. She moved into this van after a bad breakup 9 months ago. And she has just been traveling the country. So she is talking to her father, who is not for the shits, does not seem impressed by this. Flat out tells her she can't go. She said that she likes to live in chaos. She looks like she does. She gives off the vibe that she's okay living in a constant state of chaos. So, like I said, her dad ain't going for it. Not pleased at all. She gets picked up in Florida because she done drove her van from Montana to Florida so that her and her brother could break the van down. And she gets sent to Ireland. She says she's imagining men in kilts. That's Scotland, babe. That's Scotland. But that's okay. You didn't know. You should have, but that's okay. That's okay. So she gets over on the plane. She is freaking out in the bathroom, freaking out, talking about how she really wants to go home because now she's worried that she has nothing to go back to at home if it doesn't work. This is a lot. So she lands in Ireland. That man had a very cute house. It looked very nice and aesthetically pleasing from the outside. So she's matched up with Brian, who is 35 years old and is a chicken and veggie farmer. He said that he used to be in sales. He worked in sales for about 15 years and then decided he wanted to do something different. And here we are today. So Brian is giving creepy. He's giving whole weirdo. Not little weirdo, but whole weirdo. The way he was standing with his pelvis thrust out, the way his shirt kept rising up his stomach. I didn't like anything about Brian. I also did not like the fact that they got in bed together right away. He stripped all the way down to his skivvies. Okay, he was all the way down to his red jockeys, and hell, he looked like he wanted to take them off too, and they were already kissing and sleeping together as in actual in the bed together the first night. Girl, like, you don't know this man. I'm assuming these people have been tested and all this other type of stuff, background checks, but everything about this is crazy to me. Everything about it. And then finally we meet Aaron, who is already my fave. So Aaron is 31 years old. He's an optometrist. And he said that he moved to LA after college because he wanted to be a dancer. He fell in love with the guy that ghosted him. Trash. So he ended up moving back to Fargo, North Dakota, where he said his parents are conservative. They look it. And he feels like he's kind of disappointing them by being gay. So they're having a little family dinner. And he's telling his parents, he's like, so I've been talking to this woman. The way his mother's eyes lit up in excitement when he was like, that's a matchmaker that's going to match me up with. And you could see her visibly deflate a little bit. But they're being as supportive as they can for some North Dakotian conservative people. So she shows up to get him at work. I said, damn, he's going to Paris. He says, so I'm going to the boot. Why don't you know that the boot is Italy? What is going on with the skewed geography? It's concerning. It's concerning. So he lands and he meets Mael, who is 28 years old, a massage therapist, a cute little thing, but he lives in a tiny house. Everything is small. I don't know how tall Aaron is, but Aaron looks tall. Aaron gotta be 6'4" or 6'5". Aaron is a tall man. Mael is a little man. So Aaron was like, he's cute, but I thought he was going to be more Thor and less Loki. I said... So he's concerned because he said he didn't think he would be sharing the bed with his match right away. Why? You're okay being in the house. Go on and get your ass in that bed. I mean, he looked like he's sleeping on the futon anyway. So, wow. I'm going to try to stick with this as much as I can. We have one more person to meet. It looks like the drama is going to definitely be there throughout. Looks like the drama is definitely going to be there throughout the show. So if y'all are here, I'll be here too. If you have not already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, and hop in the comment section, y'all. What do you guys think about everybody that we met tonight? I will catch you guys in the next one.